Welcome back to Guidance Story. Once upon a time, in a small village, lived a farmer named Jacob. Jacob was known for his hard work, his smile, and his unwavering belief in the power of positive thinking. Every morning, Jacob and his son, Sam, would head out to the fields together, planting seeds and taking care of the crops. Jacob often told Sam, "Life is like a field, son. Whatever you plant, you'll harvest. Plant positive thoughts, and you'll see positive results." Sam didn't fully understand these words, but he loved hearing them and trusted his father's wisdom. One year, just as the crops began to grow, the village was hit by a terrible drought. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but there wasn't a single drop of rain. The crops started to wither, and the soil cracked under the harsh sun. Jacob's hard work seemed to be slipping away, and Sam began to feel the weight of despair. "Dad, the crops are dying. How can you still smile?" Sam asked, his voice filled with frustration. Jacob knelt down beside him and said, "Son, we can't control the weather, but we can control how we respond to it. If we give up, we lose everything. But if we stay positive and find a solution, we might just turn things around." Despite the drought, Jacob refused to let negative thoughts take over. He knew that if they wanted to save their crops, they had to keep trying. And so, they did, even when it seemed hopeless. Dark clouds rolled in, and rain finally began to pour. It was as if the heavens had heard their silent prayers. The parched soil drank up the water, and slowly, the crops began to recover. Sam couldn't believe his eyes. "Dad, it's a miracle," he exclaimed. Jacob smiled and said, "No, son, it's the power of hope. We didn't give up, and that's why we're seeing this blessing today." For a while, everything seemed perfect. The crops grew strong, and the village was buzzing with hope again. But this was just one chapter in their story. Life had more challenges waiting for them. Just when it looked like they were finally going to have a successful harvest, a fierce storm hit the village. The winds were strong and the rain was relentless. In just a few hours the fields were flooded and the crops were damaged. All their hard work seemed to be washed away. Sam was devastated. "How can you still stay positive, Dad?" he asked, tears welling up in his eyes. "We worked so hard, and now it's all gone." Jacob hugged his son and said, "Sometimes life tests us, son. It's not about how many times we fall, but how many times we get back up. We can't let this storm break our spirit. We'll find a way to rebuild." Once again, Jacob chose to focus on the positive. Instead of mourning what they had lost, he began to think of ways they could salvage what was left. He taught Sam that every setback is a setup for a comeback. By working hard and thinking positively, Jacob and Sam managed to save a part of their harvest. It wasn't as much as they had hoped, but it was enough. Enough to remind them that even in the darkest of times, there is always a reason to keep going. They learned to adapt, planting new crops that were more resilient to the weather, and slowly they began to thrive again. One evening, as they were finishing up, Sam turned to his father and said, "I understand now, Dad. It's not just about the crops we grow, but the thoughts we plant in our minds. If we keep believing, we can get through anything." Jacob smiled, proud of his son. "Exactly, Sam. Life will always have its ups and downs, but it's our thoughts that determine whether we rise or fall. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes it feels like the world is against us. But it's in those moments that the power of positive thoughts truly shines. Just like Jacob and Sam, we all face storms and droughts in our lives. But if we keep a positive mindset and refuse to give up, we can turn setbacks into opportunities and failures into successes." Let's learn some new words from this story. Unwavering meaning, firm and steady, not changing or giving up. Example, her unwavering focus helped her finish her work on time. Devastated meaning, extremely sad and heartbroken. Example, he was devastated when his pet passed away. Relentless, meaning never stopping or giving up. Example, the relentless wind made it difficult to walk. Resilient meaning, able to recover quickly from tough times. Example, kids are often more resilient after moving to a new place. Determination, meaning a strong will to achieve something. Example, she showed great determination by studying every night. Adversity, meaning hard times or challenges. Example, they faced adversity but still managed to succeed. Cherish, meaning to love and value something a lot. Example, she will always cherish her old family photos. Despair, meaning feeling like there's no hope. Example, they felt despair when they lost their way in the forest. Unpredictable, meaning hard to guess or not certain. Example, the weather here is unpredictable. It can rain at any moment.